All right, just checked out of Agadir, and Tenerife Canaries is the next destination. Just about an hour to get checked out this time, not too bad. Here's my dock neighbor, Julie. Wave bye to her. Sailed this boat long and far. Also Florida boat. Maybe potential for crew opportunities if you're interested. So far wind's pretty light. We should get some headwinds for a while until we make it past the Cape, a little further north, and then the wind should kind of be on a beam reach from the side. As we get closer to the Canaries, they might move a little bit behind us, which will be nice. Should be quite strong for most of the passage after we get out of this little wind shadow here. Of course, every harbor has to have a pirate ship. Just follow the Jack Sparrow. All right, mainsail's up. Let's get this jib out. We gotta get away from the smell of this disgusting commercial and fishing harbor here. It smells horrible. So far, so good. Smooth sailing. Nice strong wind. And we're moving along pretty well. I did switch back to this from the wind vane to the noisy autopilot. Not crazy how this one does this like like motion, not very smooth. I gotta get used to that. It's kind of annoying. I think the pelagic is far from perfect, but it's what we got. I think it's gonna be good enough. I think I maybe want to try the Pi Pilot. I've heard complaints about those too, but I think I gotta try it for myself and just see. I think it can use the same actuator as this. I just need to use the Pi Pilot as a computer and try that out. My main complaints are the remote on the pelagic is very like unresponsive. You hit a button. That time it worked. That time sometimes it responds, sometimes it doesn't. It just feels like very laggy. The gain, I think it needs a dedicated button for the gain, like, and then the noise. It's really noisy and it doesn't sound very nice. Oh, and the mount is, maybe I need to reglue the pin in, but actually that's the problem. I can't remove it very quickly from the pin. Something's a little weird about that. Those might be things I can fine tune though. But it seems a little bit more responsive than the other ones. It moves a little faster, so that's good. So here's the projected course, looking at about 3 or 4 days, 350 nautical miles of sailing over towards the Canaries, and Tenerife is the destination. Should be pretty straightforward, nice wind. And we'll, sail over here. And we are again leaving from Agadir in Morocco. Sailing fast, got some big waves. It's very rolly. I'm seasick now. It sucks. The waves are big and heeled over. I don't want to do anything. Just gonna lay here. Hope we're on a beam reach, maybe broad reach. Wind on our side, maybe a little from behind, which is good. And the wind's about 23 knots right now. Waves are about 10 feet. Ooh, hobby horse in a little bit. It's a wavy one. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Oh, this is the worst. Well, day number 2, it was a wet night. Lots of waves coming over the boat and getting inside somehow. There was this hole I had here where I had enlarged that hole when I installed the autopilot, and I hadn't like sealed it up because I just thought it was under the Dodger and it would get so wet. But oh my gosh, a ton of water came through that little 1-inch hole. But now I got some Beetle tape sealing it up. Hopefully it didn't completely saturate the core of the deck. I'm thinking one day it could, but there's a lot of water coming through there. But now one of the wind vane control lines just snapped. Similar place to the other one where it ran through the pulley. So I gotta put another, swap that out real quick. So I hove to, the boat's hove to now, you can see. I basically it's just like pulling over on the side of the road. Kind of puts the boat on pause, mellows it out. Don't have to worry about the boat self-steering. Here's those new control lines. Mr. Wind Vane steering excellently. Should probably put that flag away. Day number 2 drawing to a close. Covered some good miles, but rather rolly seas, lumpy seas. And let's see, in one day and 7 hours we've gone 166 nautical miles, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're coming up on, I think it's rolly, I just fell over. Gotta use 2 hands here. Yeah, so we're coming up on Lanzarote, and we're gonna try to go to Tenerife, so we'll just sail around that. And my SIM card now is Moroccan, so I guess I won't have cell signal, but that's okay. We'll still have 3-day forecast. Should be pretty reliable. Okay, day number 3. Making some real progress. 128 nautical miles to go. We went just north of Lanzarote, and I went a little further north of it so I could sleep through the night without worrying about getting close to land or ships. And now we're pretty much going kind of downwind to Tenerife. So we're more than halfway. That's great. We've done 254 in a day, 22 hours. We're doing 5.4 now. We've averaged 5.6. Great. Conditions. Wind's lightened up a bit. Waves have gotten a little smaller too. I'd say they're more like 7 or 8 feet. They were 10 most of yesterday. Still got that mainsail reef, but I got the full jib out. And the main is just barely starting to block the wind from the jib. So, but a lot of times it's staying open. I put the preventer out on the main though, I can keep that flopping around. I could decide to just drop the main altogether. I think it's helping stabilize that, so I could pull the main in and sheet it in and use that just like as a stabilizing sail. Try to get the jib to get a little bit more wind, or I think we'll do this. We'll just keep it how it is, and then as we get closer, we'll probably end up turning downwind more and wing on wing. I'll pull out the jib on the other side. But for now, this is okay. It's not bothering me too much. Of course, all the water kind of cleared off the cockpit. It had like Sahara dust really bad there in Agadir. It's really dirty. Those boats in the marina were filthy. They'd been there any time at all. And I tried to wash off pickled herring, but the water pressure of the hose was so weak, wasn't having much success. But plenty of waves coming over the boat yesterday, so that washed it off, or the day before especially. But now the sun's coming out a little bit, it's drying off. Got the bedding laying out in the bed. I just hate how everything gets so wet down there. Shots of the sailing action. Just cruising along. I've been tying the sheets to this piece of wood just so they don't like come out. Just cooked up some pesto and gnocchi for lunch today. Actually, I'm gonna put some tomato in there too, just to get some more fruits or vegetables, whatever tomato is. There we go, looks better. I got 2 videos edited today. And it worked out. The last 2 days, I did absolutely nothing except for watch YouTube videos and lay in bed and feel sorry for myself. Today's looking up though. I've got my second reef in the mainsail, which is my deep reef, and I got the full jib out because the wind is not that strong enough to really need the reef per se in the mainsail, but if I put the full mainsail up, I feel like it's going to want to round up a little bit more. It's not going to steer as well of a good of a course. So I'm debating putting the full mainsail up and dealing with that. I think it might be okay. The other thing is I think we want to go a little bit more to the left to go. We want to go really dead downwind at a certain point. And in that case, I think I will put the full main up, and I'll pull the jib out on the other side. That's going to make the boat even more rocky. So I want to wait until I make dinner before I do that, because it's easier to make dinner when you're kind of just heeled over on one side than if it's rocking back and forth really hard. I'm thinking it will be anyway, at least. So I'll probably wait to do that until right before sunset. See if I can make dinner in an hour or so. I'm gonna make some chicken gnocchi pesto. I'm cooking up a load of chicken right now. That's a lot of chicken. It's heavy. It's a lot of chicken. Take my word for it. So just gonna cook up a few days worth, and then I can eat chicken anytime I want. I just heat it up a little bit. Put it in pasta. Put it in a sandwich. So many options there. I got with cooked chicken. And then once we have the dinner made for tonight, I'll go wing on wing, full mainsail. Okay, slow down to 5 knots. So yeah, so wing on wing, full mainsail. I think that's what it's gonna be. All right, I just took care of the sail change. So I was a little bit of a chicken. I just went with the first reef in the main instead of full main, and then the jib pulled out on the other side, just a little bit furled up. I was hoping to get us up to 6 knots, but I think we're only doing 5. So, oh well. Wasn't brave enough to do the full main. And normally it wouldn't be that big of a deal, just to go put the main up, but when I had the whisker pull out on the other side, it's just an extra step. I gotta roll up the sail before I can. It's very hard to get the main reefed or unreefed. It's not impossible, but it's very hard to get it while it's going directly downwind. At least without like a better track set up, which I don't really have. And this mainsail has gotten really difficult to move compared to my old one. That's the only downside of it. Just the slides are not as don't fit the track, I guess, perfectly. Also, I'm sure that the sail track is definitely due for cleaning it with all the Sahara dust. I think that's what jammed up my winch the other day, and you just see it everywhere. It's like, just gets on everything. We are approaching shore. Oh, actually, I see a little bit of lights up there. There's a lighthouse over there too. Cool. Just make out the lights up there. There's a lighthouse over here. Yeah, now you can see them. Tenerife. Oh, joyous autopilot. You sing the sweetest melody. I had booked a marina like in the city, but this one, it was kind of expensive. It was like 500 something a month. And I think this one might be cheaper. So I'm gonna check this one out. It's just like 3 miles outside the city, which I'm okay with. Probably to get some exercise and have a quiet marina, and then I'm probably just gonna leave the boat for a little bit too, so it doesn't need to be in the city. All right, let's see how checking in goes. Hopefully it'll be easier than Africa. Like this bumper holders. Now I'm wandering around trying to figure out where the heck to get my passport stamp. I went to the National Police Station like they told me, and they said to come to the port. So, I mean, we're in a port, but I don't no idea where anything is here. I finally had success at the port center. It's like a police station. You gotta like wander out onto the docks and then around a corner and whatever. I found it, and they were pretty nice and helpful. It's a little tense though because I have so many passport stamps, and they like go in different orders. I guess the Arab countries go backwards and the other ones go forward, and they have to look hard to figure out where the heck I've been. Okay, we checked into, there's this Marina Tenerife here, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. That was a little bit cheaper, probably not cheap enough to justify the extra bus ride and annoyance of getting out here. I made that mistake before and I did it again. But it cost 560 euros for, I think, 50 days here, which is kind of on the more expensive end of the longer term places I've left the boat, but I suppose it's still not too bad. So I've taken apart this old Simrad chiller pilot because I believe if I just disconnect all the electronics, then I can just take these two brown and blue wires and then run them directly to the motor controller guy, and then this can become a backup actuator. And I think I'll actually do is I'll leave this actuator out on the rail attached to the wind vane, and then I can have the normal actuator. And when I want to control the rudder, that way I don't have to move them back and forth between the positions. And this one, yeah, I can't try. It's broken otherwise. The brains are broken, but the motor is still working, of course. Put these in. That works. Cool. I just need to remember the blue one is on the left. That one around this outside. Here I've made a new bracket to try to move the pivot point, or the whatever, the attachment point a little bit back for the autopilot, just to give it a little bit more ability to steer it. I'm going to get this off of the cockpit locker because it has some play in there and it wears out my hinges too. Just pulled out of the marina. We're just going to go off on a little day sail, test out the new autopilot bracket. There he is, remote here left. Okay, we're gonna test out the autopilot bracket and go for some wing foiling. So there's a little bay over there. It's just easier to take the boat than to try to drag all the gear up and take the bus or the bike or whatever. All right, full sails up. Definitely we're giving the autopilot a lot more authority, or like a swing for it to move. Actually, I need to move this back two positions. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Motor's off. Oh, we can get a little more upwind, really. This remote is so unresponsive. Like, every maybe third click, it doesn't even accept, but there's no beep or anything to know that it actually, if it worked or not. Just gonna have to listen to hear if it did. Turned into some crazy wind. I actually had to reef the sail. This was just supposed to be a little easy 5-mile sail up the coast. It's got a 27 knots of wind, I think, beating directly into it. Kind of moderate swell too. All right, just snugged up the main halyard. It's looking much better now, sail shape wise. We got a little wind set up here. Now we can go and do a next tack. Now we'll test out the tack function now that I have more of the authority on the rudder. So we hold this 3 seconds. See what happens. All right, so let's try the tack. Will it succeed? It's trying. Guess we can get this end up. Oh, I think it might have tacked. Pretty good. Oh boy. Big gust here. Autopilot's doing okay. Travel up. You're almost sideways. Get around this boat, hopefully they don't block our wind. The wind vane got jealous of the autopilot, it's trying to kill it. No, poor autopilot. Here's the track of our little sail. We didn't go very far, but it took forever, like 3 hours with all the tacking. But anyway, it was a good test for the autopilot, and it was fun sail. Doing some more chicken Brussels sprouts for lunch. Then I'm gonna pull out that wing foil and just rip through here. It's gonna be awesome. I got the I patched there's like a little pinhole in my 4-meter wing, so I got that sorted out. So now this might be a good day for that wing. Well, here's the bay. It was windy, but it was very, very switchy, just going 180 degrees all around. At one point I wing foiled out of the bay and then back in, all on the same tack. Tonight we are taking off the handles, and I'm going to move them over here because now we have these handles right here. Confirm this is good. I do want to do a little brace that goes from here to here just to really give this an extra support. But even now it's very solid. But these will be really great to have forward because then you can basically go from the very back of the boat where I have the solar arches. This is like super solid, at least the arch part, to here. Then you can go from there to here, and then you can go from there to the shrouds. That shroud's this shroud or this winch here, and then from there, I think I might want like a handhold right here. That would be maybe the last one. I would just complete it. Because then you get the winch here, and then you got the pulpit, and you just kind of need to be able to monkey bar your way, and everything just super solid is kind of what I'm thinking. That's my philosophy here. Well, it's the next day, and we're back underway. And my plan was to spend the night so I could wing foil this morning, but my wing popped again. A big gust came and blew it up against the solar panels and stuff. So there's not a leak. So I hope, but I can hear where the leak is at least. So what is in the C button? It doesn't work. Got the wind vane steering now, much happier, that's great. Hold out the whisker pull and the sail is behaving well. So just like 4 miles to go, right over there around that port. A jar of peanut butter fell on the floor and shattered. So now I gotta pull shards of glass out of my feet for the next day or two. It even cut me. This morning we're going for an early morning hike. Got up at 5 a.m. Sun's finally starting to come up, and we're just gonna go up in the mountains and see what we can find. I want to go down to like the volcano further south, but it was like a 3-hour bus ride. It just seemed too much trouble. All right, hey, we just finally made it to the trailhead. Rocks everywhere we go. Long hike. We're getting close to the top though. Finally some shade. Very wind blown and gnarled trees up here. Wow, that rock looks like a face profile with a hood.